Hello and welcome to Attack on Titan chapter 133. This is quite exciting. It's my first time doing an actual live reaction as the chapter comes out in probably about 7 months now. I've taken a long hiatus, so I'm back. It's quite late into the night at this point. I've had to wait quite a while for this chapter to come out, so if you are... Oh, sorry, that's why I'm being quite quiet, because, yeah, it's quite late in the night. But yeah, this is my first time uploading a live chapter reaction in quite a while, so if you're one of the thousands of people who watched me back then, but haven't been able to see any of my stuff since I went on hiatus, and you're just seeing me again now, hello, I'm back now. I've uploaded quite a few videos actually recently. I uploaded a hiatus video explaining why I disappeared. I'm uploading reactions to Hunter x Hunter. I'm on episode, I think the latest one I uploaded was 7, but I've got 8, 9 and 10 scheduled to upload later this week, so... if any of you are fans of that show, go check those out, because, yeah. But yeah, I'm back. This is my first time doing a proper live chapter reaction, which I'm very excited to do. And anyone who was a fan of my channel and is finding me again for the second time now, welcome back. Feel free to subscribe and check out all my new content, because I'm actually uploading regularly now. But yeah, man, I have already reacted to the last few chapters, but I haven't been able to upload them yet because I'm only able to upload a certain amount of content per week, so I've had to upload it very slowly. So my reactions to the chapters previous to this will be coming up at some point in the future. I'll try to get them up soon, but if you're confused as to why I'm why I'm reacting to chapter 133, but the other previous chapters I haven't, that's why. They will be up, but they'll be up in the future. I need to upload them gradually over time. But yeah. Last chapter was super emotional, man. We lost Hanji. That was so sad. That is the first time I've cried on camera. Spoiler alert. You haven't seen that video yet, probably, but yeah, the last chapter was the first time I've actually cried on camera, so that's going to be a fun one to watch when I release it. But yeah, man. And I am so curious to see what's going to happen, so yeah, let's get into this thing. Alright, man, this was a really fun chapter. It wasn't super dramatic like the last chapter, you know, didn't have 10 characters dying or anything like that, but it makes sense, right? We just had a couple of intense chapters. We want to cool down for a little bit first. But yeah, I really like this chapter though. So yeah, at the start, it's okay, we're establishing that the fuel is limited, and that's a warning sign for me, because if the fuel wasn't going to be a factor in the story, they wouldn't have brought it up as a factor in the story, right? The fact that they're talking about it means it's going to play a role, which is a problem because the bombarding fleet or whatever just went off on their own accord. So, yeah, the fact that they're running out of fuel, I could see the fuel acting as a timer for the characters, like, they need to come to a decision before the time runs out. I mean, the timer... up to this point has been the rumbling, but the rumbling is an ongoing thing that just continues until the world ends. And so this fuel could act as a bit of a shorter timer for the short term, right? Like, we have so many hours to do this or the world's over, right? I was talking a few chapters ago about how Liberio District essentially represented the world. Like, if Liberio is destroyed, that kind of represents the world being destroyed, because Liberio is the only element of the outside world we've actually seen for ourselves. That kind of seems to have been wrong. I mean, not really though, because the characters from Liberio are still alive, so in a sense it still works. I think this fuel is kind of acting as our timer, right? Our actual timer is that they fail once the rumbling is complete, but it would take a while to just sit here and wait for the rumbling to happen, so I guess in a way this fuel is acting as our actual timer, as in when the fuel runs out we can't use the plane, and when we can't use the plane, unless fuel runs out and Falco arrives with his flying bird titan. That's a possibility. That's a possibility indeed. Interesting. Yeah, they could do that. They could totally do that. Yeah, that's a possibility. The fuel could run out for this plane, but then Falco comes in and saves the day. That is possible. But yeah, and then they're all talking, they're drawing diagrams of Eren, trying to figure out plans. So Armin feels that he can use his Colossal Titan to blow up Eren, which makes sense, right? You go down there, find wherever Eren is, transform, blow him up into smithereens, he's dead. We don't know the limits of the whole conscious transference thing. Like, Reiner got his head blown up, but his body was still intact, his nervous system was still intact. So it's possible that if you just destroy the entire body 100%, not even a single fragment of skin left, then the consciousness what is that even a word? The consciousness transferring stuff might not work if the body's completely destroyed. Or maybe it would work and you just need to wait for the body to regenerate. Who knows? Maybe you'd get trapped inside the Titan forever. I remember people were theorizing that when it first happened. Yeah. And they're theorizing, because they've only seen the Titan from behind at this point, so they don't actually know what the front looks like, I don't think. Oh, not for sure. But then again, they're even drawing the long hair, so they must have some kind of idea, unless they just got really lucky with happening to draw long hair, you know? Yeah. Even if we don't know where he is, it's possible to destroy it. That's the thing, is like, the Colossal Titans are so small in comparison to Eren. I'm pretty sure the Colossal Titan's nuclear bomb wouldn't destroy the entire thing, right? I mean, if the Colossal Titans are so minuscule compared to him, then even if the explosion was massive, I wonder if it would be enough to actually destroy this thing. I feel like you'd still need to figure out where he is. Then again, that's what they're saying though, right? Is like, even if we don't know where he is, we could still destroy him. Like, that's what they're saying here. So maybe I'm completely wrong about that. Who knows? I'm just wondering. They want to talk to Eren first, though. That's the thing, though, is that... Okay. They said they want to talk to Eren first. Talking has now happened. They've talked to him, and it's not worked. So now we're on to the kill him part of the situation. And Armin's plan is to just jump out of the plane and bomb him. That's way too simple, though, don't you think? Because let's say that works. How anticlimactic is that going to be? Okay, after all this build-up, Armin just blows up and okay, we win. Well, there we go. That's the job done. Attack on Titan's over. Thank you for reading. I'll go on to the next manga after a year-long break. No, that's not going to happen, right? That's way too simple to just happen. Maybe he does it after 3 chapters of build-up because things were preventing him from doing it, and all the characters are dead but Armin's finally able to transform or something like that, potentially. But the idea of Armin just jumping out of the plane and transforming on top of Eren, bada bing bada boom, nice and easy, that would be way too anticlimactic, right? So we've skipped the dialogue, we've skipped the talking, because I was thinking the part where they talk could potentially be where things go wrong, right? Armin plans to blow him up if Eren doesn't agree to stop. Eren doesn't agree to stop, but haha, they're speaking to Eren, and that gives Eren the opportunity to screw them over somehow, and that's why the plan doesn't go well. But the fact they've already had the conversation means they can just jump straight into the murder part of the plan. But I'm pretty sure that's not going to work, which means things are probably going to go wrong in one way or another. But then, yeah, how would Armin be able to blow up without killing everyone else? Because I feel like the nuclear... If Armin jumps out of the plane, it depends how high the plane can fly. Is it flying above the clouds? Is it flying lower than that? You know, like, unless the plane is really high up. It's also possible that Armin doesn't jump down onto Eren, but it's more like he goes onto Eren, waits for a bit for the plane to go, and then blows up. Otherwise, you could destroy the plane, potentially. Okay, let's move on. I could talk about that before. And Levi is still just really wanting to kill Zeke. Just really, really wanting Zeke dead, which is understandable. You know, I'm a big fan of Zeke. He's one of my favourite characters. I would say I probably like him more than Levi. But even though I like Zeke probably more than Levi, I totally understand why Levi wants to kill him, because this is what I was talking about earlier, right? It's like, his final promise to his best friend, Erwin, was to kill Zeke. Not only has he failed to fulfill that promise on numerous occasions, but his failure to fulfill that promise has resulted potentially in the end of the world. So he must be so angry with himself. And for him, killing Zeke now is like the way he can atone for his role in destroying the world, potentially. Because it's because of his failures that this has happened. And it's because of his failures throughout the show, really, that a lot of things have happened, you know? That's kind of been his thing, right? Like, he's super strong. And yet, in these really key moments, he has a tendency of not being able to do the job, right? In Season 2, when Eren was being kidnapped, he was injured and couldn't help. In the final battle against Annie in Season 1, he was injured and couldn't help. When Levi's squad was fighting them, he didn't get there in time and they all died, you know. In Season 3, Part 2, he wasn't able to kill the Beast Titan on his own, though, and had to sacrifice himself. You know, I could go on and on, but the point is, like, as strong as Levi is, when it comes to these key moments, he has a tendency of just not being strong enough to save the day. And so this is his moment, potentially, to make up for that and finally fulfill all those promises to all the people who are watching him. Oh man, and he's the final member of the Scouts as well. Wouldn't it be so sadly beautiful for Levi to die, like, towards the end? Because it would be the death of the final member of the Scouts, you know? It would be the end of that generation of people who sought freedom from the walls. And it would quite literally be the end of an era to have all the Scouts from back then dead. Man, that would be... man, I feel like Levi's character is going to have a really great send-off. I would be surprised if he survived. I would be very surprised if he survived. I mean, don't get me wrong. As a fan, I would be totally happy for Levi to survive and set up his tea shop and live a happy life. Like, I would be totally happy if that happened because I like Levi. But the cynic and the critic inside me wants him to die, and wants him to die in a really sad but amazing way. You know, it's the fan who loves the characters versus the more cynical critic who wants the story to be good, you know? Man. And they're all talking about the sins, because that's been the ongoing theme of this chapter, hasn't it? Sins, the sins we've committed to get this far. You know, these guys killing their comrades, Reiner and all the warriors doing what they did, Eren doing what he's doing, and everyone had a choice. Everyone had, well, maybe that's the point though, maybe they didn't have a choice, you know? Maybe the idea is these people, they've been forced into these actions somewhat, you know? They had no other choice. Reiner broke down the walls because he had no other choice. All this stuff. And so Eren now, he's sick of that. He's sick of people being forced into doing things and lives being ruined, you know, through no fault of their own because they're just put into shitty situations. And so he wants to give them the freedom now to choose. If they want to fight back against him, they can do that. If they want to, you know, let him go forward and destroy the world, they can do that. He just, regardless of what they do, he just wants them to have the freedom to at least be able to choose rather than being forced into it, I guess. Yeah, and this amazing moment where Connie, he kind of looks at Reiner and is like, it must have hurt for you, you know, Reiner, Bertolt, Annie. That's an amazing moment. That might be one of my favourite moments of the chapter, just that moment where he's like, I finally understand you now, you know? It's so great as well as a fan of the characters to see them, you know, get back together and kind of understand each other a bit. Yeah. And Reiner's like, you know what? We've sinned so much, we can't atone for what we've done. But what we can do is save the innocent people, the people who didn't play a direct role in this. You know, we are sinners. We fucked this world up with our actions. The least we can do now, we can't atone for it, but the least we can do now is make sure that the people, the innocents, don't have to get punished along with us, you know? And Jean as well. I think I understand Eren. Maybe Eren wants us to stop him. And this is what I was talking about earlier, where the possibilities are that one, he's wrong, and Eren doesn't want them to stop him. And this is kind of actually, I don't need to theorize about this actually, because Eren already kind of gave his answer, where he's like, if you want to stop me, then that's fine. You know, I'm giving you the freedom to choose what you do. You know, he is fine with them. He's fine with them trying to stop him and killing him. He just wants to give them the freedom to make that choice if they want. You know, like I was saying during the reaction, Eren used his freedom to start the rumbling, and they have used their freedom to try to stop him, and he's okay with that as long as they got to make the choice freely and they got to do what they want with their lives and be free of being controlled and all that good stuff. He must be hurting. Yeah, that's the thing. And Reiner's talk, yeah. If he could... Now, he might want to pass on the founder if he could. He would want it all to end by someone. That's interesting. I don't... Because you have to take all this with a grain of salt because it's a fan translation, not the official. But it does make me wonder exactly what this line is implying. He might want... want to pass on the foundation? Because does that mean he might want to pass on the responsibility? Like, he's not going to, because he knows this is the role he has to play, but deep inside he wants to pass this pain and this responsibility onto someone else, but he knows he can't because he needs to do this. It's, he needs to be the person who does this because no one else will, and all that stuff, And then we get this amazing scene where they actually talk to Eren as well, which is great. And then they're all yelling at him. And Armin makes the point, like, at this point, no one's going to touch the Island of Paradise for centuries, which is fair, after they just destroyed half the world. It's understandable that the rest of the world might be afraid. Yeah. And then John brings up the other point of, it's like, hey, you're doing this for our sake, right? So listen to us, don't murder for our sake. And it's like, they all appeal to a different aspect of him, they all appeal to a different part of who he is and a different motive and all that good stuff. And then Levi's just like, hey, I won't kick your ass if you stop now. Levi. I honestly, of course, seeing a one-on-one conversation between any of these characters would be great. Armin and him, Mikasa and him, like, a one-on-one conversation with any of them would be amazing. But I almost feel like the one-on-one conversation I want to see most is Levi and Eren, just because of that relationship they had with, master students, that kind of thing, through all those years, the respect Eren had for Levi, all the speeches Levi gave him about how, like, is it the right choice or the wrong choice? I don't know. I just make a choice, I hope, and I hope that it's the one I regret the least, that kind of stuff. It would be really great to see an interaction between Levi and Eren, because I feel like one relationship in this that kind of gets underplayed, because we keep talking about how, like, Armin and Eren are so close, and Mikasa and Eren and Ryan and Eren and all this stuff. Like, we can't forget about Levi and Eren and just how much of a relationship they've had over the years, being in Levi's squad and all that. A lot of stuff has gone down between those two, and I feel like they could have a very interesting conversation if Levi was actually willing to talk and not just cut someone's neck open immediately, Yeah. And this is when Eren's talking, like, I'm going to keep moving forward no matter what. My choice is to take the world's freedom to achieve my own, and I won't steal your freedom. I'm using my freedom to steal the world's freedom, and you can use your freedom to steal my freedom, and that's okay, as long as we're all free. His fetish for freedom, as I said earlier. It's interesting that he's appeared as a kid. It's interesting. And then, of course, his eyes being blacked out as well. Man, I feel like, is it because, like, he's a slave to his ideals? Is that what it's meant to mean? Like, not that he's literally being controlled, but that he's a slave to his desire for freedom in an ironic little twist. That could be interesting. I find the fact that his eyes are blacked out very interesting. It could be nothing. Maybe I'm just being a lunatic and reading too much into it, but I do find it interesting, and I am curious if it is meant to have a meaning, And then Ymir as well. Ymir is so creepy. Yeah. And Eren's like, alright, you can stop me if you want to, but if you do, you're going to have to kill me because you can't talk me out of this. Man, and then, yeah. And then they're all on the ship. And then we get this conversation. Character development for Kiyomi. When was the last time that happened? Oh, man. And she's talking about how much she regrets it, because she did help this happen. She was on Zeke's side, right? At least I think she was. It's difficult to remember, actually. But she helped Zeke and Eren, She must be feeling an immense amount of guilt at the moment. And what she wants, and as we see later, what she wants is to make sure, whether she lives or dies, she just wants to make sure that she doesn't add to her regret, that she tries to do something. And then I talked about this earlier with Annie, how, like, she's lost everything, she's lost her father, as far as she's aware, her friends, her other friends, she's lost everyone, as far as she's aware. But she still has Armin, Every opportunity she's had for a potentially normal life, she just wants to be normal. Every opportunity she's had for a potentially normal life, she's lost because she's kept pushing forward towards this end goal. And now she has another option. And I don't know, I hope she doesn't miss it this time, I hope she doesn't miss this chance, now that she has it, to finally, get that normal life that she deserves, And then this, Falco's dream. He got like part of Zeke. Okay. So let me try to make sure I understand this, alright? I had a dream. Zeke's dream or memory. You said that the female Titan can mimic another Titan's powers by eating part of them, right? Well, the female Titan didn't really have anything special, so we just experimented to hell. But why? Yes, then maybe this could work. No way. Should you kids? Wait a minute. Okay. It's interesting that they brought that up. So, and is there... Maybe it's because Falco can't control his Titan yet? So maybe the plan is... If the female Titan... Apparently, according to this chapter, the female Titan can mimic other powers of Titans by eating them. So maybe she like ate part of the founding Titan, and that's how she got her raw. And, ate part of the armored Titan, that's how she got her armor powers and stuff like that. But, like, I suppose maybe... Okay, Falco believes that he can fly because he got some memories from Zeke. Oh, I'm so stupid. I'm so stupid. During the reaction, I was saying, wait a minute, is this supposed to imply that Eren and Zeke are above the clouds? No, it's supposed to imply he's getting memories from past Beast Titans who were flying. I'm so stupid. I can't believe I didn't realize that until just now. I can't believe I didn't realize that until just this second. Damn, I'm so dumb. But yeah, I realize that now. He got the memories of a Beast Titan flying with the clouds, and so he wonders if he can fly. He's asking Annie if she can mimic Titan powers by eating part of them. So maybe the idea is Falco wanting Annie to eat part of him so that she can mimic the flight power, I guess. And she can fly them there because his Titan might not have enough control, maybe. Maybe that's the plan. Something like that. But then they'd have to convince Annie because as of right now, she's the only one who isn't in on this, right? Falco and Gabby obviously want to do that. And Kiyomi wants to as well because she doesn't want to get any more regret. She doesn't want to get any more blood on her hands than she already has. So the only one left to make this decision is Annie, I suppose Annie could also be their way out. I mentioned earlier maybe if they lose all their fuel, they could all fly in there and save them and continue on with the plan. It also could be further than that where they're able to carry out the plan but they lose all their fuel and it looks like they're all going to die. And then Annie and Falco and them swoop in and save the day kind of thing, I guess, is also a possibility. And then we get to Fort Salter. The Elgians from Liberia were able to escape. It looks like Annie's dad, Rainer's family, Piek's family, and also maybe Falco's family, I think. Unless I'm misinterpreting the dialogue. Yeah, they also took Marlene's with them as well. They're not killing them, which is good. That's very good. Hopefully they can all live through this. Yeah, they're talking like, your son's on the island of paradise and all that stuff. Yeah. That'll be Gabby's family, and that's probably Falco's, presumably. Yeah. I wonder if Eren's grandfather was able to make it out. We haven't seen him, but he's still alive. Zeke's dad, Eren's grandparents. They should still... I mean, they were still in Liberia, but we haven't seen them, so we don't know if they got out or not. The fact that we haven't seen them doesn't seem good, if we haven't seen them, well, we'll have to find out, I guess. Yeah, and Gabby's dad. And then the fleet all takes off from the fort, heading towards the rumbling to bombard it from above. Right, I have mixed thoughts on this, because on the one hand, the fact that Eren was concerned about this implies that the bombing from above could be effective, If Eren was concerned enough about this fort that it was his second target location after he started the rumbling, that implies that he is concerned that this bombardment from above could genuinely be a threat. But at the same time, it could also be... That's the thing though, right? If it's the only genuine threat left to him, potentially, and they just somehow destroy it now, then, then there goes the one hope we had left, I don't know how, I guess the steam could potentially go up there and just burn them to a crisp, blow up the blimps or whatever. I don't know. Are these the kind of zeppelins or blimps that have flammable air inside of them potentially? I don't know really how zeppelins and stuff work. But yeah, man, if this fails and the bombardment isn't able to at least damage the rumbling for a little bit, then yeah, there goes some of our last hope of Eren being stopped, doesn't it? It could also be a thing where the fleet holds off that's also a possibility. The bombardment fleet holds off the rumbling itself to prevent the Marleyans and the Elgians here at Fort Salter from being killed. And while while the fleet is holding off the rumbling by bombarding the Titans, Armin and them arrive to deal with Eren, right? So, like, the fleet deals with the rumbling, and Armin and them deal with Eren, and that could be the final battle. I feel like this is going to be the final battle. I feel like Fort Salter is the final battle, because I mentioned before a few chapters ago how Liberio District essentially represents the entire world, because Liberio District is the only part of the outside world we've actually seen. Therefore, within our minds as a reader, it basically represents the outside world, right? We even had like representatives from around the world gather in Liberio during the attack, which is about as, it's about as clear as it can get, right? It's a representation of the entire outside world, basically. And we've also seen before where it's like if Marley falls, then the only country in the world that still fights for Elgin rights, except for Paradise, of course, is gone. So in this case, the residents of Liberia are essentially acting as a surrogate for the location itself, I guess, where it's like the residents of Liberia will be on top of Fort Salter, right? The bombardment from these zeppelins will be holding back the rumbling. Armin and them will arrive to Eren, and essentially their goal is to stop Eren and the rumbling before they reach Fort Salter and kill everyone there, because the residents of Liberia are representative of the people of the outside world, right? Pretty much. So once they are destroyed, then that basically represents that there's no hope left and the world is going to be destroyed and all that good stuff. Could be wrong, but that's kind of just how I'm thinking about it right now. Man, the next chapter is going to be good. Oh man, the next chapter is going to be real good. Man, I really enjoyed that. Oh, I wish the next chapter was already out, but yeah. So yeah, that was chapter 133, man. Man, I'm going to have to go in and fucking edit this. Speedy Gonzalez, edit this as fast as possible. Bang it up on YouTube, get that shit going. Man, this is going to be... I'm going to have a fucking heart attack by the end of the night getting this up. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. This was a great chapter. Like I said, if you're watching this if this is the first video of mine you've seen in a while, because this is the first new chapter I've uploaded in a while, feel free to check out my other content. I upload like Hunter x Hunter stuff, for example, and I plan to do reactions to more manga and anime in the future. So feel free to subscribe, because I've got a bunch of stuff going on now and hope to have more in the future, maybe even like gameplay content and stuff. Leave a like if you want. Leave a comment. I'd love to hear what you guys think, because my only interaction with the Attack on Titan community these days really is comment sections and stuff. So leave a comment, tell me what you thought of the chapter. What do you think of my opinion of the chapter? Am I fucking dumb? Feel free to tell me. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. And hello again, if this is your first time seeing me since all the way back then. And I will hope to see you very soon. Bye-bye.